What did we just witness? The Texans, what a comeback. Beating the Jacksonville Jaguars at NRG 36-29, scoring 26 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. I'm Jason Bristol here in the KHO U11 newsroom as we are breaking down this game with all of you. Thanks for watching. And of course, we're always taking your one word as we are also checking in on NRG, checking in at NRG to await the arrival of DeMeco Ryans and Davis Mills following this, whatever this was. What a game. What a game. Down 20-10 at the half, storming back to win 36-29. The Texans are now 4-5. And we are taking your one word. So give me one word to describe what we just saw. Tina's checking in, says, "Good job, Texans," with the heart emojis. As we again are waiting, DeMeco Ryans and Davis Mills. Jacksonville, 10 points in the first, 10 in the second. 9 in the third, 0 in the fourth. Texans, 0, 10 in the second, 0 in the third, and 26 in the fourth quarter. Now, look at everybody. Lupita, who is right over here. We have an unbelievable on the board. Wow. Edward checking in. Celeste. Miracle. Joshua says, we saw Money Mills out there. Stephen, good to see Stephen. With some resilience. Got a lot of wows. Michelle, perseverance. Loretta says, all right, comeback team, fourth quarter Texans. Davis Mills. Nicole says, amazing. Tim with a good word. Erica with a good word. Erica says, clutch. Tim, magical. This is a game in which I should have brought 2 boards, but we only have 1. David says, what a comeback. It was. It is so unexpected, unlike these Texans and how they've operated through the first 9 weeks of the season. Now, does this mask or cover up a lot of the issues? I don't think so. I don't think so. When you look at third down efficiency, the Texans were 10 of 15 on third down. Jacksonville, 4 of 11. 412 yards. Total yards for the Texans, 282 passing. Davis Mills, 27 of 45 for 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Penalties obviously continue to be an issue for this team. 11 penalties for 80 yards, and of course some that were really, really tough on that last drive. Although I turned to Zach Tawatari in the offense and I said, yeah, the penalties are bad, but this actually may help the Texans. It may give them a little more room to operate, given the issues they've had from 5 yards and in. Jesus says, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. This is certainly the first step of what the Texans need to do, because if the Texans lost this game, by all accounts, the McNair family would have to look forward to volleyball season, because you cannot fall 2 games behind Jacksonville. And of course, you still have 2 games left with the Colts. As we are awaiting DeMeco Ryans from NRG Stadium, I imagine this talk about finishing the game, we didn't finish. Well, that wasn't a problem here. They finished. They finished. I think one key play was the sack of Davis Mills, where he absolutely got blasted. And there was a penalty on the play, and the Texans go down. I think that was the Woody Marks score. That was the thing. This defense allows you to just hang around. If you could just hang around, yeah, it was the third. It was at 3:03 in the second. Davis Mills sacked for -6 yards, but there was a penalty on Walker roughing the passer. And then they picked up another 16-yard pass. So, if you don't score on that drive, certainly the Texans were able to get some momentum. But the Texans now, you have Indianapolis 8-2. You have Jacksonville at 5-4. Houston is at 4-5. And then obviously Tennessee 1-8. Tennessee obviously should be a win. Again, we are waiting to hear from DeMeco Ryans. The Texans, all the red zone issues, 4 of 5 in the red zone. This is the first starting quarterback the Texans have beaten in 2025, right? Because they beat the Ravens, back up. Or no, wait. Do I have that right? I don't have that right. They beat Cam Ward, so I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Let's see. Fab and Francis says already H-Town win. Saul says determination. That's a good one. So these are the words that you have provided. Unbelievable, wow, miracle, resilience, perseverance, amazing, clutch, magical, determination. So your wins now are against the Titans, the Ravens, the Niners, and the Jaguars. Up next, of course, the Tennessee Titans. And then you have the Bills on Thursday night on the 20th. The Bills were having issues earlier with Miami. And yes, they lost 30-13. Talk about a game that no one saw coming there. It appears maybe there's some movement here at NRG Stadium. I saw some people moving in front of the camera as we await DeMeco Ryans. Some of the issues that the Texans have had, they were issues in this first half and really through 3 quarters. It was interesting, the O-line configuration to begin this game. Starting 2 guys who hadn't started all season. with the injuries to Titus Howard and Ed Ingram? Pull up my stats again. What impressed you most other than the resilience, the perseverance? What impressed you guys? Special teams, that was a bit of an issue. Parker Washington, Penn State product, local kid, guy. He had a huge game for Jacksonville. Officially, Danielle Hunter credited with 3.5 sacks. Woody Marks, 4.5 yards per carry. Texans will take that all day long. ETN for the Jaguars, 16 carries, 58 yards. Nico Collins. Look at these targets. Woo! Nico Collins targeted 15 times. Dalton Schultz, 11. Jaden Higgins, 7. Jalen Noel, 4. Christian Kirk, 3. Mickey says determined. I will take any win. Thanks, Texans. Yep, I think a lot of people feel that way. That first half was just brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Trevor Lawrence, granted, he's facing one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in football. 13 of 23, 158 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, sacked 5 times. Quarterback rating of 74. Davis Mills, a quarterback rating of 84. This was obviously the Texans' well, I shouldn't say that. I have to look compared to the Baltimore game in terms of yards. Let's see here.
You guys being here is just...
And here's DeMeco Ryans. Let's listen in.
First, I have to give glory to God. It's not about us and praising us or what we do. It's all glory to God, and I'm just thankful for finding a way to win this game, especially coming in with a heavy heart. Lost my best friend, Earl Cochran, so I know he's smiling down on us right now. He would be very proud.
Two questions. What did he mean to you? How was it to get that win for him? And what was it that felt like? How about I ask the second question after you answer that one?
Okay. First off, you talk about Earl, just a stand-up guy, close friend. I mean, loving, caring, big heart, give the shirt off his back to anybody. Like he was. Just treated people the right way, loved people, always had a big smile, big heart, very wise. So I'm just thankful to have had him as a friend here.
And you all hadn't finished games this year, but you all were able to do it here. You got contributions, offense and defense. What do you think was key to being able to do that?
The key for our entire game today is, no one blinked. Like I talked to the guys last night about this is going to be a heavyweight fight, and we got to keep throwing punting no matter how it looks. It may look rough. It doesn't matter. I didn't want anybody to blink. I wanted everybody to continue to press forward, to keep punching, right? And that's what they did. Coming out in the second half, like it's the best second half we've had because we played complementary football. Everything that could go wrong went wrong as soon as the game started. And so for us to battle and have that resilience, like that's what good football looks like. That's what we've been missing. I told the guys we've been in this situation before in the fourth quarter where we've allowed the quarterback to scramble and make a play. So we knew the D-line had to come up big and get stops for us, and they did that. So when you have, I can't say all of that without saying how Davis played. Davis did an outstanding job of leading the offense all week. And he did it again today to come out and have a pick on the first drive, right? It's easy to go in the tank, but he bounced back. He kept battling, kept making plays. And, he goes for 3 touchdowns and the one rushing one that we needed the most at the end. So I'm proud of Davis for the way he stepped up, led all week.
You've been a part of two of the biggest comebacks in franchise history. Obviously, the one against the Chargers, and obviously today. Just going to today, this was the second, I think, tied for the most, the biggest comeback this season among all NFL teams. What are you feeling having been able to be a part of that?
Oh man, my heart is full. I'm so proud of our guys, man, because it's something we've been trying to find, right? It's that belief, that resilience that you need, and I'm just so proud of our guys and not just the player. I'm proud of the coaches and players. Like I was just asking them all week, just to make sure we're all in this thing together. No matter how the game looks, everybody just stick together, continue to bring positive energy, right? And we finish with the knockout punch there at the end that we needed.
Coach, you mentioned the fact about being proud of these guys, but it's one game, but one game can be pivotal in the season. Do you have to get to the end and finally realize what this game might have meant to this team, or just take it for what it's worth today?
Yeah, I take it. I take this moment right now, and I'm a relish in this moment and love this moment for how our team battled, right? And yes, I hope it's a springboard for us, moving throughout the season, that we continue to see that it doesn't matter, right, what the scoreboard looks like. It's about how you execute, how you finish, how you play together, and how you have that belief in one another and in yourself, right, to go out and finish games like this.
Coach, I also have a two-part question. First, throughout the week, watching film on Trevor Lawrence and the Jags offensively, what did you and Coach Burke gain from that film study to be able to kind of take away Trevor Lawrence and the rushing impact that the Jags have been able to have on the season for them so far? And also being down C.J. Stroud and a lot of the guys that Titus Howard and some of the leaders, can you speak to how impactful and important Nico Collins was for today's victory?
Yeah, from the film study, what we saw is main thing, we needed to stop the run. We knew they were going to be committed to stopping to rushing the football, so we did have to do a good job of stopping it. We didn't do our best. Like, we could have done much better, but we did enough. All right, and we wanted to be in a position to make them have to throw the football, to allow our D-line have to get after the quarterback, and that's what they did. They finished with 5 sacks. They did an outstanding job, and Daniil had one of his best games. So really proud of the effort up front and how those guys rushed, and that was our plan, and we executed it the right way. And when we needed it most, there at the end of the game, they came up big time for us. Nico has always been a big part of what we do, and he shined today. Nico and Davis have had that connection for a while, so it was fun to see those guys just getting back to what they've done before. And Nico he doesn't say anything, but he's one of our hardest workers. No matter how the game goes, he's always ready for an opportunity to make big plays for us.
DeMeco, knowing you as a defensive-minded coach coming on in and seeing Shelton Rankins be able to put this game away with the defensive touchdown, just how exciting was it to be able to watch as this defense finally was able to get that crushing blow and put this thing away?
Oh, man, it's one of the most exciting plays I've been a part of. To end the game like that with Rankins going in to score, man, wow. It was an awesome play, and I was trying to meet him down there in the end zone.
From your perspective, obviously you guys are down 19 in the second half. You guys are obviously able to rise. How much do you feel like a win like this could turn the tide for a season? Because when you go from 3-6 to 4-5, how much do you feel like a win like this could turn the tide in the season?
This team, this game, all right, should do a lot when guys watch the film and they can see like the things we can even clean up in this game where we weren't clean or bad things happen. And I just look at the game as I look at life. It's like bad things are gonna happen. Like, do you hang your head and go run and hide? Do you quit? Do you give up? No. Like, you got to keep punching. In life, in football, you got to keep punching, and that's what this game showed today, man. You just have to keep playing with heart, playing with resilience, and hopefully the film shows our guys proof that we can battle and win in any type of game.
I think y'all outscored them 26-0 in the fourth quarter. But at what point did you feel the tide really changing for you all? Did you feel like you all were going to, you always have a chance, but you all were going to make this comeback?
I felt like we were actually moving the ball really well, and like all day offensively. Felt like we moved it well. Third downs, we were staying on the field, an area emphasis that we needed to improve, and also in the red zone, like just seeing some of the plays. Davis made critical third down there, backed up, nice throw and catch to Dalton there towards our sideline. I think seeing the touchdown to Higg. Right, it was play after play that we ran. The way we ran the football, I thought Woody did a really nice job running the ball. Thought we created some displacement up front with our offensive line. Just a collective effort by everybody doing what they're supposed to do. We talk about executing all the time. When it doesn't go right, we don't execute, but that's what it looks like when we just execute the fundamentals.
Kind of following up on that with Jalen and with Woody for their impact to see how well they were able to make plays in this game. How impressive you were with their maturity to understand what a moment this was to be able to force the comeback.
Yeah, our young guys, they continue to impress. Woody, Jalen Higg, I mean, they've all. Jay Noel makes big plays every game. It was fun to see Higgins and what he's capable of doing, just a big target on the outside, going up, making contested catches, doing an outstanding job. He's done that all year. We just got to find a way to continue to get him the ball. We got playmakers, a lot of guys to spread the ball around too, and I feel like our quarterback's done a good job of doing that.
Coach, you mentioned some of the 2025 draft class players. A lot of guys had some great individual performances today. Can you talk about the rookie left tackle, Ariante Ursary? Some of the things that you guys are just seeing from him and how he continues to be an ascending player for the offensive line.
I can't say enough about Tay. He's playing the toughest position in football, like left tackle. You're on that island a lot, and to be a rookie in that spot, I mean, from the first week till now, like he's gotten better each week. He's getting better, right? And he's doing a great job of, not losing focus. He's just locked in, doing his job the right way, and he has that desire. It means a lot to him to protect the quarterback, and he's doing a great job of it. All right, thank you, guys.
And there you heard DeMeco Ryans following this improbable 36-29 win. DeMeco talked about how they came into this game knowing or planning or needing to stop the run, and they held Jacksonville to 94 yards rushing, and Jacksonville typically is not a great football team when you hold them to under 100 yards. When you look at their losses this season, 2 of them, now 3 of them, when they rush for 100 yards or less. He talked about resilience, which of course is one of the words you out there gave us with our one word. We've also seen some other words come in. Let's see, Nancy, Michelle, Anthony, all, Rita, all. Let's see, Nancy. Do we have that one on here? No. We have awesome. We have Michelle with crazy. Christy with a woo. Let me fix my little exclamation point. Let's see. Determined. We have determined. Determination. Anthony says steady. Yeah, it was a steady. Yeah, they remained steady. They didn't crack. Of course, that's what DeMeco talked about. Said during the pregame meetings that staying the course, not losing confidence, those were the types of things that this team needed to do in order to win this game. And sure enough, those held true. What I also thought was interesting, no surprise, DeMeco admits that they hope that this game is truly a springboard, that this game will be the game that gets the boat rowing in the right direction. There's not a lot of football left, but yet there is a lot of football left. I also looked up the yards gained, most yards in a single game by the Texans this year. San Francisco game, they had 475 yards of offense. Baltimore, 417, and today, 412. Once again, my name is Jason Bristol, as we are now awaiting to hear from your victorious quarterback, Davis Mills. The game did not start well for him or the Texans. Of course, throwing that interception, and then the Texans found themselves down 3-0. Once again, Mills, 27 of 45, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Tamara says, I'm so proud of you all. Evelyn, way to go Texans. We have a lot of people on here. Normally we get more people when they lose. But this is such an exciting win because everyone wants to air their grievances. But this was, listen, through 3 quarters, we thought, oh boy, here we go. It's going to be one of those. We're going to have another one of those. Have to get 2 boards to write down all of the complaints. I do think a lot of the issues are still there, but if they can make up for it with this offense, things could be a lot better. Here's Davis Mills.
For today's game, and also being in this situation before for Houston, having to win big games, how were you able to kind of shake off the early game blunders to have the performance you had?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start off. I think our team had a really great week of practice. Kaylee put together a great offensive game plan along with the other offensive coaches, and we were able to go out there today and execute. And then to kind of answer the second part of that, I think anytime you kind of start off a little slow, I mean, the mentality of our team is to attack every play with aggression and just going out there to try to execute every play at a high level. So we were able to do that. Coaches stayed aggressive. I have always had the mentality to stay confident regardless of what happened on the play before. It's kind of like the old basketball mentality, shoot or shoot. If you stop, I mean, you're not going to see shots go in. So I think today was just a great team win. Defense was able to keep getting off the field, slow down their offense. Special teams made some plays, and as the game went on, our offense kept getting better and better, and we were able to go down there and find a way to win it at the end.
Davis, what did you see on the touchdown run?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of had an interview right after the game on the field, and we had we ended up calling a play that we had already called in the game. They kind of just sat back in zone coverage, and as I was getting through my progression, scramble lane opened up kind of in the same direction as where Woody's check down was, and as I pushed up in the pocket, he ended up making a big-time block, and I was able to find a way in the end zone.
I think coming out of halftime or throughout the game, you guys ended up rotating the right guard. Juice Scruggs got in the middle of the shift there. Did that decision or adjustment kind of help you guys throughout the game? Because after that, it seemed like the offensive line played a lot cleaner, a lot smoother, and you were able to get rhythm and finish drives off for Houston.
I mean, I think our offensive line did a great job the whole game. I mean, even when Blake comes in for a lot of the jumbo stuff, we were able to run the football really efficiently today, especially on those last couple drives when the team needed it. We were able to lean on those guys and march down the field.
This is the second largest comeback in franchise history. It's 26-0 differential in the fourth quarter. What was the moment that you started to realize that you guys weren't just putting up points to be able to make this thing close, but it was starting to feel more so we're going to be able to pull this thing off?
I mean, I think the whole team had faith we were going to win that game the entire time. Like I said before, I mean, I think our team is very confident in our own abilities. We have a lot of players who can make plays, and we just needed to get things clicking. And as we went out there, I think we really only had, one possession in the third quarter. and went down. Were able to drive the ball pretty well in the fourth quarter. And like I said before, defense kept finding ways to get off the field. Daniil was joking around with me in the locker room. He was like, "Our defense is good, man." And he was like, "Keep finding ways to go down and score points on offense, and we're going to keep getting you guys the ball back." So having that in the back of my head and being able to trust the guys around me, especially on the other side of the ball, to go out there and make plays. It was just a hard-fought win. It was fun.
Talking to the guys in the locker room, they all said, like, nothing surprised them about what they saw from you today because this is who you've been. Talk about, and you may have already talked about it, how you've been able to maintain in the backup role the confidence and just kind of the even keel to get through the ups and downs of today.
That's what you got to do. I think with my current circumstance, backing up to CJ, I come in with the mentality every day that I'm going to bring my best self to the facility every morning. I'm going to push everyone around me to become the best football player they can be, and I'm going to push myself to become the best football player I can be. I've had that mentality kind of cool, calm, and collected at all times. I'm here to work and do my job, and it was fun. The guys had faith in me that I could go out there and get the job done. But we've done that every single day when we come to work, continuing to just execute the little things and go out there and find a way to get a win. It was fun.
7 catches, 135 yards. You've been working with him since 2021 when you guys got drafted in the 3rd round together. What does it mean to have a security blanket like Nico Collins that can always go up, make the big-time play, and make your job a little bit easier knowing that he is always going to be at the right place at the right time?
It's a lot of fun. Nico's a playmaker. I think he's pretty much a mismatch against everyone they put on the other side. I think a lot of defensives starting to get him into a lot of cloud coverage, double coverage over top of him, and they find ways to take him out of the game. But anytime they don't, we're looking to find a way to get him the ball. He's grown a lot since 2021 when we were rookies, and I just wish the best for him and continue to light up the league.
Speaking of rookies, can you just talk about the kind of production you're getting from some of the rookies, especially on offense? Guys that continue to step up, like a Lee Marks or Jaden or Jalen?
Yeah, we have a lot of young guys. Ariante, left tackle. He's played extremely well this whole year, and he keeps getting better every week. I think a lot of our young guys have a great mentality where they're coming to work every week, and they all ask a ton of questions and want to know more about the game of football at the highest level to continue push themselves to get better. But Tay's done a great job. Jalen, Jaden, Woody, we have a lot of guys contributing who, when a young guy comes in, you never want it to seem like there's a young guy in the football game. They're out here making plays. They know exactly what their job is on every play, and it's fun having them out there in the huddle because they bring some juice. Cool. Thanks. Yep.
And there you have it. Davis Mills from the podium. Davis Mills mentioned what Daniil Hunter told him is that we have a great defense. We'll get the ball back for you. And that's what this Texans defense does. Said they had a great week of practice. Kaylee, great offensive game plan. Whatever it was, it worked in the 4th. Of course, the Texans have also had a explosion in the second half. That was against Tennessee, remember? We've got a number of new words coming in. Felicia says epic. Joe says my guys. Sylvia, wow, I am so proud and excited. Texans win when they were down. Anthony, Money Mills. Justin's here. I'll tell you what, their undisciplined nature almost ruined that last touchdown drive. Penalties is what they do. You were exactly right, Justin. I don't think this win masks a lot of the issues for this team. That certainly penalties are a big, big problem. But I think you could also argue in a twisted way that maybe the penalties actually helped? It allowed them to have a little more space to operate? Because we've seen in close that things don't always go well with this offense. Let's see. Jacqueline says Magic 8 Ball. Lupita, who is sitting next to me, she has mentioned to me about what's happening over on the Jacksonville side underneath the comments on their post on X about the final score and how Jacksonville fans are not happy. That's an interesting thing to think about as well. What does this game do for Jacksonville? Will they crumble after this? Of course, we know it's a week-to-week league. Got to flush it, move on to the next week. But this was, we talk about epic. This was an epic collapse by Lee and Cohen's team. So I think some questions. Jacqueline says, stop being so negative. I'm just realistic. That's all. That's what I do each week. That's what we do here. Positivity helped, without a doubt. That's what DeMeco mentioned about how he, before this game, leading up to it, meeting, saying there's going to be it's going to be a heavyweight fight, knockout. You know, you're going to have to take a few knockout punches, and you're going to have to find your way up off the turf, the canvas, whatever. Paraphrasing, but that was essentially DeMeco's message, that you have to prepare for some potentially bad stuff happening in this game, and you're going to have to overcome it, and that's what the Texans did. A couple of things moving forward, I think, are certainly worth watching, namely this. Will the Texans continue with this offensive line configuration? That's going to be very, very interesting. Have they finally found something maybe with Trent Brown? I don't know. But certainly Titus Howard and Ed Ingram, they're not going to lose their spots. But maybe they do some more shifting again. They love versatility on this line. So once again, 36-29 is the final. We heard from Davis Mills. We heard from DeMeco Ryans. And the best part is we heard from all of you. Here are the words. Unbelievable, wow, miracle, resilience, perseverance, amazing, clutch, magical, determination. We have more. Awesome, crazy, woo, steady, and epic. I think the word that best sums up this game will be this one right here. Wow. Because so many of you had that in your little chat bubble. Wow, 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 wow. So that is the word for this game. Again, the Texans improved to 4-5, 3-2 at home, following a 36-29 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Much more about this game coming up tonight on KHO 11 Sports Extra. Former Texan, Sports Radio 610 host Seth Payne will be with us, along with Paul Gallant from the Gallant Says podcast. So we will have a packed show breaking down everything you need to know and maybe thought about during this game, like what happens moving forward with this team. We'll answer all of those questions tonight on KHO 11 Sports Extra. So again, your final score, Houston 36, Jacksonville 29. I'm Jason Bristol, as always. Thanks for joining us here in the KHO 11 newsroom.